everybody, I'm Anna Jansi, and today in ArtWithMore I'm going to show you how to make this coasters. These are with Epoxy Resin. These are company company logo, and it's going to be a Christmas gift, and the client wants to give some epoxy resin coasters to their client. So I already cut. This is regular, so that's what we're gonna do. So if you want to watch this video and to see how I make these coasters, just stay tuned. So let's get started. So this is regular paper printing. I print in my Inkjet printer. My client sent the design, so these are her designs from Maximo Studio, and this is their client. It's a restaurant. So she wants 2 round coasters and 2 square coasters, and this is one of the designs and this is the other design. So I already poured my resin. My resin is a ratio of 1:1, 1 resin and 1 hardener. And I do mix my resin for 5 minutes. I do it very slowly, and to avoid bubbles. So as you can see, it's as clear as I can get it. Temperature here is changing. I'm a little scared about the temperature because you know, humidity and the temperature is important for the resin, but let's do this. So I'm gonna make the first one in real time, and then I'm gonna time lapse so you can just, you know, follow the technique and not bore you with this process. Okay, so let's get started. So of course the first thing I do is that I clean all my coasters with packaging tape, with you know, this tape. It doesn't have to be Scotch, it could be anything, any brand. So they are completely, you know, clean. And I'm gonna pour a little bit of resin, and you're gonna watch me add the print to the coaster. So because this side is going to be the front, I have to add the print like this. Okay, not like this, like this. It's going to be clear resin, so this show through, and then when it's cured overnight, I'm going to put a second layer of black. But again, because the other side of the coaster is going to be the front, I'm going to lay down the paper like this. Okay, so let's start. I just put a little bit of resin, enough that the paper can sink, but it doesn't float or move, because that is something important. The other thing I do is that I move it, I let the resin move with the coaster. At this step, I try not to touch the resin, and then we start little by little to add the paper. So the paper, the front is going to be in the other side, so I'm going to do it like this. Okay, so start with one of the edges very slowly. This is real time, so you can really see how long it takes to make this technique. So what I'm trying to do is to push. Let me see if I can do it. Maybe there you can see it better. Let's see. So the paper is already, the resin is getting inside the paper. Okay, so the idea is to push the resin to the edge of the paper to avoid bubbles and to avoid the paper to move into the resin. If you put too much resin, the paper is going to kind of like float or take like a U. It's going to fold. It's going to move. So you really don't want that. Okay. At the end, you go very slowly, very slow, because you don't want the resin to get out of the coaster. So see how I'm kind of pushing the resin out of the coaster, out of the paper, sorry. And see, here is already all black, and that means that the resin is already in the paper. Okay. So the idea is to make it, try to put as the paper as flat as possible, and the resin. Then I use this. This is a silicone, I don't know how you call it, but it's like a silicone brush. It's very, I like to use it in this type of project. So what I do is that I press a little bit the paper. Make sure you don't see how the resin, see here how the resin goes through. That's the idea. And like that, you're going to avoid bubbles. You are going to avoid the paper to get bended, because believe me, it will bend. It will bend. It will bend. Okay, so after you have kind of, you feel that you have all the paper very close to the coaster, you kind of spread evenly the resin that you have in the top. All right. So as I said, this is real time. So you see, normally I do time lapse, but I figured that you guys wanted to know how, you know, how long it takes. So it's not that long, but you just have to be careful with the process. All right, so let me just put this here. So just make sure here, I don't know if you can see in the camera, there's a little bit of, there was no resin there. Of course, your table has to be as level as possible. I give up. My floor is not level, so imagine the tables are not level. I try my best, and that is what it is. So don't get stressed about it. All right, so that's it. So now you let it cure overnight, and then you put whatever base you want, but I'm going to share that with you guys. So I'm going to time the same thing you do with the square and the circle. I'm going to time lapse you to make the round ones and the square, but it's kind of the same concept. Okay. Okay, so I wanted to explain to you something, because with this coaster I didn't put enough resin, so the resin that is getting out of between the paper and the coaster is not enough. So you can add a little bit of resin, just a little tiny bit, so it kind of seal the bottom and the front, because apparently I didn't put enough resin. So just to let you know that if that happens, you can add a little bit of resin in your coaster. Okay, just make sure that it has a tiny bit of resin in the back as well. So that's it. I'm gonna put this here. So that's it. We have 4 coasters. Now we're gonna cover it, and I'm gonna let it cure overnight. And tomorrow I'm gonna put, in this case, it's gonna be a black base. So I'm gonna mix some resin with black color. Okay. So see you in a bit. Okay, so here we are the next day. It's already cured. So remember, this is the front. So now I'm going to add the last layer with black. I already had poured my resin here, and I put some acrylic paint. I use regular acrylic paint. You can use this one. You can use any brand you want, but I just use acrylic paint. Okay. Remember not to use water-based paint like yeah, like aquarela or something like that, because resin and water doesn't mix very well. So this is what we are going to do now, and yeah. So what else? Remember to cover your pieces, okay? Because you don't want any, you know, like hair or dust or anything like that. So this second layer, I am going to leave it overnight as well, but this is going to be the last one. So hopefully tomorrow it will be beautiful and the client is going to be happy. There is such a good thing to see your logo, you know, in a beautiful piece. So I'm mixing the resin here with the color just in case, you know, I'm doing it off camera. But anyway, so that is the process. So I'm going to yeah, I'm gonna pour the resin, the second layer. So there we go. All right. So as you can see, I pour in the middle, and I let the resin go to every corner. So that's what I'm doing right now. And actually that I find that it helps me with wow, this is black. It helps me with the bubbles. But if you have a different way to do it and it works, just do it your way, okay? I'm just mentioning what I'm doing right now because I'm doing it in real time, so I can kind of explain a little bit what I do. I normally do time lapse. This is black. I think it's gonna look gorgeous. Hopefully the client's gonna like it. Acrylic paint go very well with resin. I know there are some people that they don't like acrylic paint, but for me it has worked really well. Normally in my pieces I will put a little bit of bling bling, but this is for a male client, and she mentioned that, I mean, the person that is going to give to the client mentioned the no bling bling, so I didn't put any. All right, so there we go. So now I'm gonna let it be a little bit, because as you can see, the bubbles are they're in the surface. So I think I'm gonna put just a little bit of alcohol. If not, I'm going to use a torch. Well, not a torch, just a little bit of fire, a lighter or something. And I'm gonna cover and let it cure overnight, and tomorrow I'm gonna demold. So I will see these beauties tomorrow, and you guys are gonna see it like really soon, like right now. Okay, so here we have the next day. They are cured. I think this spot was the alcohol. Yeah, I think I'm not gonna use alcohol anymore. All right, so hopefully they are cured, but I'm gonna let one more day. But let's just demold and see how it looks. Yeah, I think I'm gonna leave it one more day. Temperature and humidity here is not very good, so let's see how it looks. Oh, it looks amazing. Look at that. It looks really cool. Yeah, but I'm gonna leave it, let's see the square one. I'm gonna leave it one more day because it's not completely cured. That's a little bit. Oh yeah. Wow. That looks pretty. That looks pretty, pretty, pretty. Look at the two layers here. That is stunning. Really nice. Really nice. So there you have it. So customized coasters. It looks so cute. It looks really nice. All right, so that's it. See you in the next video. Thank you so much. Don't forget to subscribe, and remember, be happy. Bye.